Hello, welcome back to Cinnamon Sanctuary with another recipe. You could probably tell from the thumbnail. Today we're making some jollof rice. Step-by-step recipe, really easy to follow. If you're interested in finding out how I make my jollof rice, please stay tuned. Okay, so here is a layout of what you will need to make the stew portion of the jollof rice. So from left to right, we have a whole red onion, some peppers. So we have a red bell pepper and 3 sweet peppers, which I like to use for my jollof rice because they're sweet. A whole onion as well, a white onion that will go into our tomato and pepper mix, some chopped tomatoes, pink salt, black pepper, aromat seasoning, some chicken stock, and a bunch of seasonings on the plate here. So we have a sprig of thyme, some dried parsley, some all-purpose seasoning, chicken seasoning, 2 bay leaves, and the deal breaker. Well, not the deal breaker, actually. No, the deal maker, cinnamon. I like to add cinnamon to my jollof rice. Honestly, it will bring it from to another level, from a 9.5 to a 12. I suggest you try it. It really brings out a different flavor, but it does work. And we also have 2 Maggi cubes, some tomato puree, and a mix of parsley, garlic, ginger, and a bit of onion. Now we're just going to go ahead and chop our peppers and onion that will go into our chopped tomato, pepper, and onion mix, and which is going to form our basis for the jollof rice. Now for this recipe, I decided to use more peppers than tomatoes because I find, well, first of all, I prefer the flavor, I prefer the taste, but also if I want really red jollof rice, and I think it works better when you use more pepper. So pepper really helps in bringing the red color out of the jollof rice. So our next step will be to make our tomato stew, which is going to be the base for our jollof rice. So I'm just adding in a bit of oil. This is about the equivalent of 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil. I don't like using a lot of oil. I don't think it's really needed. And when you have a non-stick pan, it's not necessary. So I'm just adding some onion to this that we're going to let fry and sweat out, and for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then to that mix, you're going to have to add your tomato puree. The tomato puree brings out the taste, but it also helps with the redness of the jollof rice. So I like to use about 3/4 of a tube of tomato puree. And then you stir it all together. You have to make sure that you keep stirring so that it doesn't burn, and you kind of wait until it reaches a certain level of sweetness. So you almost let it caramelize before adding in your chopped tomato and pepper mix. Approximately 10 minutes later, I've added in my tomato and pepper mix. I'm sorry I didn't show when I actually poured it in, but I literally just poured it in. And then I also added the green mix of parsley, ginger, garlic, and onion as well, which I like to add with my jollof rice. It brings out so much flavor once you add it in. And as usual, I'm going to put in all the ingredients in the description box, so don't worry about that. I'll put in all the ingredients in. So we just added that in, and now we have to let it cook. I'm stirring it a little bit to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom, and you basically have to let this cook for, usually it takes me about half an hour. While the tomato stew is cooking, I'm now going ahead to wash the rice. So I'm using basmati rice for this recipe. I tend to use basmati rice for jollof rice, but feel free to use long grain rice if you prefer. It also does work pretty well. And you have to wash the rice until the water comes out clear. So it takes me usually about, 5 to 6 attempts before the water comes out clear. So the tomato stew at this point has been cooking for about 25 minutes, so it didn't last a whole half hour. And what you're looking for is for the oil to come back to the surface. So when the oil comes to the surface, that's when you know that your stew is done. And once the stew is done, that's usually when I start to go in with all my seasonings. So I'm adding in all the spices that I cited earlier, our all-purpose seasoning, pepper, salt, chicken seasoning, bay leaves, and thyme as well. I know a lot of people like to use curry powder for jollof rice. I actually like to use it as well, but I didn't have any on hand. But yeah, feel free to use curry powder if you have some as well. It actually adds extra flavor to it. And as I mentioned, cinnamon, really important. I mean, it's no big deal if you don't have cinnamon, but I really suggest that you try it. It's so tasty. And honestly, as soon as you put the cinnamon in your tomato mix, the scent in the kitchen will just change. It's amazing. Just try it and get back to me. Trust me on that one. So I'm just adding in all the spices, and then once that's done, I think it will be only about 5 to 10 minutes before I can add in my washed rice. Now we're just going to go in with some chicken stock, and this is homemade chicken stock because we were going to have chicken with the jollof rice. And so I steamed some chicken and I was going to put that under the grill, and we just added that in. And one thing I didn't mention beforehand, when we mixed our onion, chopped tomatoes and red peppers, normally I would have added some Scotch bonnet in there. But because the kids were eating this jollof rice, they're not too crazy about very spicy food. So I didn't add it into the pepper mix. So I'm just adding it now at this point, as you see, and whole. And this will stay in that mixture for about 30 to 35 minutes with the rice as well, at which point I'll remove it and ensure that it stays whole. We don't want it to pop because we don't want it to get too spicy for the children, basically. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. If you have kids that are not crazy about pepper, you can do it this way. So now we're just going in with the washed rice, adding all of it together, and then we'd have to stir it nicely. So one thing about jollof rice, you don't want to over stir it because you don't want it to release too much starch, because once that happens, you end up with very sticky jollof rice, and we don't want jollof rice. We don't want sticky jollof rice. No one wants that. It's not nice. It's just not nice to eat. So I'm just stirring that in to make sure that the stew is incorporated into the rice, and then I'm going to cover that up and let it rest for a little bit. And the aim is to end up steaming it by covering it in foil. But prior to this, I'll just give it a couple of stirs for about 5 to 10 minutes before I add in the foil. So now I'm just adding a little bit of water into the jollof rice to help it cook. But very important that we do not overdo the water, because again, we don't want to end up with a sticky jollof. So I'm adding in a little bit, probably to end up with about 1 centimeter above the rice level, and that's about it. And I'm just stirring it in again, and we're going to let that cook for about 10 minutes before adding in our foil to let the rice steam. So our rice has been cooking for about 10 minutes now, and I've stirred it a couple of times just to make sure that the bottom is not too burnt. But the thing with jollof rice is the bottom will end up burnt at some point. That's perfectly normal, and some people actually quite enjoy it. I do. So I'm just covering up with a bit of foil to let the rice steam. So that's the idea. We want the rice to steam. So now we're going to stop with the stirring, and we're going to let the steam do the job. And you can check in every 10 to 15 minutes to see where we're at. At this point, the rice has been cooking for 25 minutes, and you can see the water is all absorbed. And I'm just going in with a fork to, just very slightly shake it up a little bit just to see how it's looking. You can see it's still a little bit sticky at this point because it's not fully cooked, but I'm just fluffing it up a little bit at the top, after which I will cover it up again and let it steam. And here is our final product, finally, after all this hard work. The thing with jollof rice is it can take a while to cook, but it's always worth it, I find, at the end. And yes, look at this, perfect. It's not sticky, it falls off, it's nice and light, it's fluffy, and this will go perfectly with some kind of meat. We tend to have it with chicken and carrots and cabbage by way of vegetable. I think it goes quite well. And this is it. So if you liked, please leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching so far, and see you very soon on the next video. Bye!